And welcome back, this is ballerscuba with more Let's Play Stardew Valley. This is going to be the last session of the normal playthrough, or at least that is what I am assuming, considering we only have really like 2 days left. 3 if we're getting technical, because I am going to have to extend it into day 1 of spring. But I am joined as always by ballerscuba, who is a millionaire, but that somehow is not good enough. It's just never enough for me. All right, so we're gonna try a couple more days to do things kind of relatively legitimately. That's the best way that I could probably put it. It's not quite 100% legitimate, but it is using the game's mechanics to my advantage. So we have some work to do. Don't worry, I won't mind if you track mud into the house. It's fun to get a little dirty now and then. I'm not sure about mud, but there's gonna be some snow. Hey, Linus sent me a catfish. That is actually really nice of him. Those are not easy to come by. Okay, so I've already talked about what I am going to do at the beginning of the next year. I've also checked, and there is a... Oh, I already had some. There is no point in me checking the artifact spots today, so we're not going to be doing that. Instead, we're going to try to focus on a couple other things. I'm going to try to get up to 2 million gold. I don't know if that's going to happen by tomorrow, but at the very least, I am hoping to get that done by the 1st. Considering how much of this wine is done, it is very possible that I could get it done today. It's going to be close, though. It could be possible for me to get it done and purchase it tomorrow, which was always the plan, right? I always wanted to buy things this year, but you know, if it stretches into next year, it could stretch into next year. Yeah, this looks like it should be enough for me, especially considering how much of this is ancient fruit wine. Looks like there was a few of them. Remember, the cranberries wine just does not sell for the same amount. It's just not quite as good. But, like I said, I do have plans for what to do to make money next year. But I probably won't show those off. You probably, if you've been paying attention, you could probably tell what I was going for. If you haven't been paying attention, basically what I'm going to be trying to do is plant as many ancient seeds as I possibly can with speed grow instead of quality fertilizer. That way I can get as many ancient fruit as I possibly can, because at some point quality no longer matters, and that point is when I put it into the kegs. It just does not matter what the quality level of it is. It's gonna come out of the keg the same. Me putting a gold star ancient fruit into a keg doesn't give me any better wine than if I put no star into the keg. So we are not really concerned with that. It's more a matter of quantity, not quality, when it comes to what goes into the kegs. So the idea is to go for the speed grow. I am keeping the barn and the coop for now, mostly because at least getting the chicken will allow me to use an exploit, which if I am unable to get the artifacts, which is looking more and more likely, right? It's looking like I'm not going to be able to get the artifacts. If I'm unable to get those artifacts before the end of the year, I'm going to go ahead and use the exploits, and I'm going to show them on screen, just show you guys how it's done. Otherwise, it's just me going out of my way to do the same thing that I've been doing for the past couple weeks in the game. And that doesn't necessarily sound too fun to me, to keep doing the same thing over and over in hopes that eventually I get it. It sounds easier to me to just use the little exploit that the creator actually does know about and is okay with. He's fine leaving it in, so I don't really have a problem using it too much. I would rather not, but 3 years is going to be my hard deadline on when it's okay for me to just go, you know what, this is taking too long. I'm going to find another way to do it. And it's not necessarily hacking because I'm not doing anything outside of the game itself, but it is something that I would rather avoid doing. Come with me, horse. We have fishing to do. Because yeah, like at some point, me going fishing over and over looking for these fishing treasure chests. Not only is it not fun, it's not entertaining. So I feel like we'll do it these last 2 days to try to do things legitimately. If it doesn't happen, then I will use the exploit in order to get the final achievement. I think it's the final achievement. Let me check, actually. Let's see here. No, I still have 2 more. I have to craft every item, that's right, and complete the museum collection. So yeah, the crafting every item I'm going to get done on the first day of the year. It's just, am I going to be able to get the artifacts? That's the only question. The last item that I need, it just requires seeds that aren't available most of the year. They're only available in spring or at the night market the day that I went through the day that I went through the desert mine. So I didn't get them that day. But it turned out for the best. I made it to floor 100 of the desert mine. I feel like I've done everything that is to be done in the game. Even though I clearly haven't. I mean, there's so much more you could do in the game, but in a single playthrough, considering when I started at least, I've done pretty much everything. The only things that I missed are a couple scenes. I missed one with one of the villagers that I needed 3 stars or 3 hearts affinity with them in the first year, and I didn't know there was a time limit on it, so I missed that one. And then at the time that I started, there was no polygamy events, but now there are 2 of them, and I believe that it was either that I had already made up my mind or it was kind of too late for me to do the polygamy event. I think it was that I had already made up my mind. But those are pretty much the only things that I missed. Of course, if you do another run or you divorce people and get rid of the kids and stuff like that, you can expand on it. But you'll get more scenes with each person should you date them and marry them and get... Well, I think it's just dating. If you get them up to 10 hearts, then there's another... there we go. Then there's another event that you can see. But it didn't feel right for me to do that for a single playthrough. I was interested in Maru, and that is what I stuck with. Alright, let's... Oh. Let's get that. Get both at the same time. Yeah, at this point, I'm not really expecting it, but if it shows up, that would be great. I'm only missing 2 artifacts. And this is ways that I can get 1. As it turns out right now, there are no artifact spots in town. There's just nothing there for me. So, we're hanging out here fishing, hoping for the best. But yeah, the strategy, in order for me to make money, is to have ancient seeds out there as much as I can. Not only because they don't cost me anything, but because they continue to grow all year round. So that would definitely help with my production levels. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make enough money to get up to 10 million. Remember, I'm looking really at 12 million. I don't know how long that's going to take me to get that high, considering I haven't done it this entire game. But then again, I have a higher production level now than I have for a good chunk of the game. And it still hasn't really been my focus, if we're being honest. I've been trying to get everything else done outside of money. Bone flute is not what I'm looking for. At least there was an artifact in it, though. What I'm looking for is elvish jewelry. I have no idea what it looks like, to be honest. And my fishing tackle wore out. Alright, let's make another one then. Just as simple as that. That's why I have these gold bars with me. But as you can see, I'm starting to run out of gold bars. You know, how many fishing treasure chests do I need to grab before it should show up, right? I feel like I've gotten the 200 and it's still not there. And 200 should be enough statistically for me to have gotten one. But of course, statistics don't always work out in video games for me, except for Pokemon. I still hold to that. Pokemon was the weirdest one where, like, I caught everything that I wanted. Like, even on the first try, if I got there and I was trying to catch something, I got it on the first try, let alone, like, it ran away. Stuff that I wanted showed up. That was so weird. I'm still not entirely sure what happened, but I think I've been making up for that with bad luck in literally every other Let's Play that I've done. Alright, we got something good here. Another bone flute. That's weird. That's just plain weird. But we got chances of getting more things. I do have quality fertilizer if I run out of the speed grow, or I can't afford any more of those. Maybe I'll drop some quality instead. But quality really isn't helping me if I'm planning on putting in the keg. You know what I mean? These ancient fruits at the gold level aren't really helping me out. I just need more kegs. I need more ancient fruit. That's pretty much it. I also need to age more, but I can't really do too much there. So we're just gonna keep going with ancient fruit and turn that into wine as best as I can. There's a few exploits in this game. I recently saw a video that kind of showed how you can basically break the game on day one, and it's not that difficult. Like I said, it is a glitch that the creator knows about and is not trying to fix. I'm told that it is specifically to aid people like me that are having such a hard time finding one particular artifact or something like that. And I've heard also that it is designed for Let's Players, simply because we do want to show off everything, and that's difficult if you make one particular piece very difficult to get. So, I don't have too many problems using it. I just want to wait until the end of the 3rd year before I do it. Alright, there's another treasure chest. We're getting some interesting stuff. It's just not the stuff that I'm looking for. Which is one thing, once again. One thing. Okay, we're starting to run out of daylight here. It's already 6 p.m. Once again, there are no artifacts boxed in town, and that is the only way that I can get the prehistoric rib. That's what we were looking for there, and it's just not there right now. So I'll have to show a different way to get that. Okay, Come on. But you have to keep in mind all the things that we have done in this game. We have rebuilt the community center. Remember, that was a lot of work with the... I want to say jujubes. That's not right. I'm blanking on their name. Junimos. There we go. That was a lot of work to try to get them to rebuild the community center for us. That was not easy. That was a good chunk of the first like year and a half, 2 years of the game. Rebuilding that so that we could then build Junimo huts that aren't really doing too much for me. Then we got all the fish in the game, including all the legendary fish. We got ourselves down not only to the bottom of the regular mine, but to the at least 100 floor of the desert mine. It's not the bottom, but then again, there is no bottom to the desert mine other than, you know, like 65,000 or something. It's a numbers thing, but theoretically, there's no bottom to the desert mine. Something good? Nope. Never something good. We made everyone in town love us, except for my own kids. But that's to be expected. Your kids aren't going to like you for a while. We saw all the scenes with them. We got to know all the characters. We've done a lot in the game. That's a skeletal tail. That is still not what I'm looking for. Yeah, I honestly don't know what it takes. But we got one more day of... one more day of double-checking artifact spots. And then if that doesn't work, we will find something else to do. And that something else will be using an exploit. It's a very simple exploit, I feel like, programming-wise. It's a very easy thing to take advantage of. It's just that you would never think of it yourself unless somebody told you about it. But we will get there in a couple days. I'll show it off even if somehow I am miraculously able to get both of the achievements tomorrow. Which, of course, I really have no hope that that's going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to get both artifacts by the end of tomorrow. That's just not a thing that's going to happen. Yeah, my fishing tackle should be worn out either now or after the next one. There we go. It's now. So this will be probably, well, the last ones that I make. Maybe one more treasure hunter. I made a lot. I mean, these aren't cheap. These are gold bars. Keep in mind that I also leveled up all of my equipment. Not that that necessarily counts as much, but felt like it at the time. Yeah, whatever. They were just geodes. The geodes don't have anything for me anymore. We did get all of the minerals, we just didn't get all of the artifacts. Yes, I am aware that my inventory is full. Fine, I'll deal with it. Let's craft more quality fertilizer. 34 more. I mean, I have a ton of quality fertilizer. I'm not sure how useful it's going to be for me, but yeah, at some point it's probably better monetarily for me to just sell the fish instead of just turning them into quality fertilizer. But in the long run, when we're talking 10 million gold, you know, this 500 gold or whatever is not going to add up. It's just a drop in the bucket. It doesn't matter. All right, I think we got one more. One more, and then we will head out. No fishing treasure chest this time. Let's get on our horse and go. Yeah, none of these matter. Yeah, the artifact spots are just kind of weird that they would be that important at the end of the day that you have to dig through them. You have to find everything, right? It's not required, right? Nothing in this game is technically required, but it's weird that in order to finish everything, you have to do so much with the fishing, you have to do so much with the digging, you have to do stuff with so much with the mines. Like, I get that there has to be some things, but you would assume that a lot of this game could be built around, I don't know, farming. And it turns out that so little of this game is actually surrounding the farming. I don't care about any of these. Drop some stuff off here. And we'll go to sleep for the night. I got my dog to love me. That took a long time too. Not entirely sure why that took so long, but it did. All right, so I don't have enough money today in order to buy the returned scepter. But I should tomorrow, should there be another good number of things. Thanks for a great year, ballerscuba. I'm excited to tackle next year together. Yep. There's always next year.